Peace and love, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Back for another boxing prediction and breakdown. I'm going to try to keep this winning streak rocking and rolling, but none of those fights of the past matter. It's about the one 4 days from now in Vegas between Earl Spence Jr. and Terrence Bud Crawford to see who will be the undisputed welterweight champion of the world and who will be pound for pound #1 in the world. I truly believe this fight is going to be one worth talked about until the end of time. I truly believe this fight will be boxing fans like different styles of fights. The art of hit and not get hit, the toe-to-toe, the high ring IQ where you're being slick using the ring, seeing fighters face adversity. I believe all of that, a little bit of all of that will be into one, to where all styles of boxing fans will be pleased and give us something to talk about Monday morning at work. I believe this is a throwback fight. I believe it's a throwback fight because usually fighters, when they fight Spence, after the 4th round, they realize that he's too much and they go in retreat mode and survival mode to not get knocked out in front of the world. But Terrence Bud Crawford is not built like that. He's a killer and he's going in there to win, and he's not fearful. Anytime you have two killers who are humble, anytime they clash, we usually get fireworks. The stage is set. The storyline is there. Every human being that I see has a story to their life, have a movie to their life. Some people's movie goes straight to DVD. Some people's, the movie of your life goes to the movie theater. These two fighters, their story goes to the movie theater. Not only am I a fan of them, of their boxing style, but I'm a fan of them as a human being, as a father, as a man, and giving us an example of what hard work does. Hard work, dedication, blood, sweat, tears, and sacrifice to remain undefeated and be at the top of their game, at the top of the sport. Salute to both men. It's going to be hard to see one take a L, but somebody's O has to go. Thinking about this fight, it's hard for me to see anybody beat Spence in the welterweight division simply because he is beating people up. He is punishing grown men. And 4 things are happening. 1, he's sending them to the hospital. He's breaking their socket bone, their eye. He's breaking their ribs. Or he's sending people into retirement. Not only that, we've seen Spence beat fighters, top fighters, at their own game. They said Mikey Garcia was going to outbox Spence. Spence went in there and boxed his socks off for 12 rounds. They said Sean Porter was going to jump all over him and be too much for him. Spence beat him at his own game, beat him in the phone booth. They said Kell Brook was going to be too big and walk him down. Spence ended up going across the pond in Kell Brook's backyard, walking the bigger man down, and he took him into deep waters and drowned him in the 11th round. I truly believe that it's going to be a fighter who is special to beat Spence and had to be just a gifted fighter. The question is Bud Crawford a special fighter? Absolutely he is, which is going to make for a great fight. We've seen Bud Crawford be nothing but flawless in that ring. We've seen him box beautifully, an excellent counterpuncher, great footwork, great conditioning. He knows how to know when to turn it on and turn it off. Great ring generalship. He can connect in short spaces. But with that being said, we've never seen Bud Crawford have to bite down and win and grind out a fight in the last 3-4 rounds of a fight. Is it due to his level of competition that he's faced, or he's just far superior? I truly am not a fan of Bud Crawford's resume, and I think that can factor in the later rounds of this fight. The 2 best fighters that he fought is Kell Brook and Sean Porter. Some people say that he beat those guys in a better fashion than Spence did, but like I said, fighters are not the same once they fight Spence. He fought Spence leftovers, and both fighters were on their way out of retirement. So I don't think Crawford has fought a A+ fighter. There's several times when I've seen Terrence Crawford, when they announce his up-and-coming fight, and I look at his opponent and I have no idea who he is. I had to Google him to find out who he was. On the flip side, with Spence, we never seen that problem. After his eye surgery, they said he needed a tune-up. He went after one of the biggest guys in the division to gain a belt. After his almost fatal car accident, after he healed up, he didn't get a tune-up fight. He went right after one of the top guys in the division. So with that being said, but then again, Terrence Crawford could be gifted to where that doesn't even matter. The keys to victory. The keys to victory for Errol Spence Jr. to me is to get Crawford to fight outside his comfort zone. Every fight that I've seen with Crawford, he dictates the whole pace of the fight. He does exactly what he wants to do. Nobody really just puts him to that limit and makes him uncomfortable. It's like, come on this side of the ring. Keep him at the end of the jab. Keep him at bay, feint, tie him up, touch him to the body, combination, switch hit, go on this side of the ring, same thing. He does whatever he wants to do. But in this fight, he's not going to be able to do that because Spence is going to be right on him right out the gate. Another key for victory to Spence is just be Spence. Do what you do. He has great fundamentals. He comes down, fights you in the line, shoulder squared. He has a great jab, one of the best body punches in the business. What he does is he applies pressure, not only physically but mentally, and methodically breaks his fighters down and takes them into deep waters and drowns them. That just be Spence. The keys to victory for Terrence Bud Crawford. I think Crawford needs to gain the respect of Spence early. Because if Spence doesn't respect your power, it's going to be a long night. And you'll mess around and end up in the hospital. Another thing is, we know Bud Crawford is a dog. But I think he should tame that dog for the first 9 rounds. And box more with his IQ and his counter ability and use that ring. Steal most of these rounds, beginning and mid rounds, and then the last 4 rounds mash on the gas and bring that dog and that killer out. Because Spence is going to be on him the whole fight. We've seen Crawford get dropped by the Russian. They didn't technically count as that, but that's what it was. And we've seen him rocked and hurt by Gamboa. So with those caliber of fighters, what's Spence gonna do? I say use that ring and try to box his socks off. Fight smart. Now to the prediction. I believe the first round they're gonna feel each other out, but the first 4 rounds I think Terrence Crawford is gonna win most of the majority of those rounds. He's gonna show that he's a great counter puncher, but Spence is gonna be inching a little closer, applying pressure. Rounds 5 to 9 is where the people are gonna get their money's worth, where people are going to be standing on their feet, shouting, yelling. This is where we're going to see what makes these two fighters great, what makes them elite. We're going to see Terrence Crawford connect in short range, use great footwork. We're going to see both fighters get touched up like never seen before. Each fighter is going to make his opponent dig deep and get in his bag of tricks and show us some things that we haven't seen before. Now, Spence is going to win majority of the mid rounds, which is going to have the fight even. But the momentum is going to be shifting towards Spence. Because what's going to happen is Spence applying that pressure, touch you on his shoulder, touch you to the body, touch you to the forearm, is going to start taking effect. And the momentum's going to shift towards the round 9. And we're going to see a look in Terrence Crawford's eyes that we've never seen before. A look of, I'm in a bit of trouble and I'm going to have to bite down. I think the last 3 rounds, it's going to be so close that the skill set, they're so great, the skill set is going to become a wash, and it's going to become down to one thing, and that's will. Who has the greater will? I believe in these last 3 rounds, Terrence Bud Crawford is getting ready to realize that he has never been in there with a fighter like Spence. I believe that if I'm in Spence's shoes and you get in a car accident where the car flips and you get ejected from the car and you hit the pavement and you're in the hospital for months or weeks, whatever it was, and you come out with no broken bones and you don't take no tune-up fights once you heal up and you still dominate, mentally I'm thinking I'm unbreakable. Mentally I'm thinking nobody my size can hurt me. And if you listen to the interviews and the press conference, he has that demeanor and that confidence. And I believe that his will will be greater than Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford body is going to start taking effect of the punishment and being weared down a little bit. And I believe it's going to be his name, the truth, is going to be confirmed, and the truth shall set you free, and the truth cannot be denied. And we're going to see why they call him the truth. And Errol Spence is going to dominate the last 3 rounds to win the fight. I have Errol Spence Jr. by decision in a very good, entertaining fight. I got Spence winning by 3 rounds to become undisputed champion and to bring those belts back to the DFW. That's my prediction. We shall see. Until next time, peace and love.